Tyrese, I think we're 28 games into the season and you've played 24 of them. That must be a great feeling for a young Loney.
Yeah, it's brilliant because this is what I've come here to do, to just play games and get better, and it aids my development, so yeah, it's brilliant.
The spell at Argyle is kind of the most football you've played at a senior level by kind of some distance, isn't it? How are you enjoying that experience, and what have you kind of learned from it compared to who you were at the start of the season?
I've picked up a lot of experience, like just the games and regular game time, and knowing that the gaffer trusts in not just me but many of the young players as well is a good feeling, because I'm playing with my brothers, do you know what I mean? And we just all want to do well for the team, so yeah, it's a brilliant feeling, and long may it continue, really.
I was going to ask you about the trust from the gaffer and the coaching staff, because playing that holding midfield role is really, really crucial to the way the team plays, isn't it? And if you look up and down the leagues, that player can tend to be quite a bit older, maybe a bit more experienced, and then you're in here kind of your first full senior season and played nearly every game. What does that feel like?
It's amazing, I just thank God, and I'm grateful that God's put together a group of staff that believe in my talent and believe that I'm good enough to play almost every game that I've played. It's just about continuing the consistency, and not just with myself but the team, so yeah. And
to do that in a season of so much challenge, so we talk about not having fans, you barely played in front of our supporters, having to play in a condensed season, playing Saturday, Tuesday almost every week. This will set you up really well for the rest of your career, won't it?
Yeah, it will, because that's the whole point of the experience and the loan, is just to come here and be used to that feeling of playing in front of pressure, as you call it. So yeah, it's a brilliant experience for me, even though there's no fans. The fans are watching all that I follow, so it's a good feeling, knowing that they're giving us the support and the encouragement.
So you're obviously a London lad, but you come down from Nottingham Forest. It's a long way from home, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
How are you finding the experience? Because obviously outside of games and training, you're locked down like the rest of us. Yeah,
it's tough, because knowing that you can't go home and see your family, is an awful thing, but, it's a thing that everyone's going through at the same time. So, we're just grateful that family's well back home, and, I'm just getting my head down here and focusing.
And the club has done a pretty good job, hasn't it, on the whole, in terms of the COVID protocols and so on. When you look at games cancelled up and down the league, we've not had one of those yet, have we? Do you kind of feel quite comfortable in that environment here? Do you think that I'm putting words in your mouth, but do you think that we've kind of sorted out the correct processes pretty well?
I think the club's done really well, because I look at it, as you said, there's many teams that have had, I think there was one team that had like 8 players that had COVID, so luckily for us, we've not really had that many, or I don't remember us, having any. So we've done quite well, to be fair. So it's just about us following the rules and just keeping safe at home, while we're not playing.
So you can't obviously go out and see people, which is tricky. Like you say, you can't go home very often. Yeah. How important is that kind of team spirit now more than ever? And obviously a lot of kind of players around your age. Do you think that's helpful?
It is helpful, the likes of myself, Jerome, Jeffs, Michael, all similar ages, so it helps that we can all talk to each other about what we're going through, at the same time, as long as playing the football, which is the main important thing as well. So yeah, it's a good experience.
And obviously on the pitch, we're 8 unbeaten. You've played in every one of those games. It must be a great dressing room to be a part of at the moment.
It is. Everyone's buzzing. Everyone, understandably, because we're putting in the performances, and now we're a bit more solid, at the back. And alongside myself, I get the encouragement from the back lads, especially Jerome and Kel and Coops and Will as well, who's a more experienced out of us, 4. So it is a good feeling to be part of the team, when we're doing well. Definitely.
What do you put that kind of defensive solidity down to? Is it just over time experience playing together, that sort of thing? Is it just
I think it's just playing over time with each other and getting used to each other's game, so I know what Coops is going to do, I know what Jay's going to do, I know what Kel's going to do, Will. So even myself playing in front is easier, because when I know what the back lads are going to tell me and I trust what they're going to tell me, for me it's easy. I just go out there and do what I need to do. So yeah.
On to Saturday and Rochdale now. Obviously we had a difficult experience at home against them. Lots has changed though. What are you expecting from that game?
I'm expecting Rochdale to really come at us. They're a good team, young team, but they try and play football with the right manager. So for us, it's just about going and doing what we've been doing the whole season. Really, just getting our heads down and just playing our own football, and just coming out on top. Really, that's nothing less. That's what I expect. So,
sounds good to us, mate. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Cheers.